Hi. Well, in this session, I'd like to continue our discussion of spiritual gifts, if my throat will let me. Discernment is what I want to talk about this time, and according to the dictionary, it's the ability to judge well. Now, biblically speaking, it is, quote, perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual direction and understanding, unquote. In Christianity, it is considered as a virtue. A discerning individual is considered to possess wisdom and be of good judgment. Let me guess what you might be thinking. Well, we're not supposed to judge, lest we be judged. But let's unpack this a little bit and see what more we can learn. In life, there's something called fight or flight. In the unlikely scenario where you're taking out the garbage one night and you go around the corner and you come face to face with the bear, your body, without your permission, will go into fight or flight mode and you'll run to safety. At that moment, however, you get a big rush of adrenaline, which, by the way, will allow you to move faster than you might physically think you're able to do at that moment. So coming face to face with the bear is a very real and visual example of danger. As you know, there are other dangers out there that don't involve large predators. Satan is sure to send people in situations our way to try us, and if you have the gift of discernment, you have a powerful tool in your emergency bag. Do you ever meet someone new and just a feeling that something isn't quite right with that person? That's your discernment warning you to stay clear. I had an occasion in the past to warn people about someone they were trusting, but my discernment said, no, do that. In one of the churches we attended, a young man and his father became new attendees and immediately got very involved in church in-reach activities. Now, that sounds like a good thing, doesn't it? The issue for me was the younger of the two just didn't seem honest to me. And I listened to his stories he shared, but my discerning spirit let me know he was not being truthful. To be fair, I went so far as to check some of his stories. They never happened. I took my concerns to one of the elders, but there were too many people who thought he was just a lost soul who needs the fellowship we provide. To make a long story very short, he was eventually found to be inappropriate with the younger children in the congregation. And 1 year after he was invited to leave, he was arrested for attempted murder and kidnapping. Sorry to say that even at that point, some folks continued to stand by their view of him. Now, I'm not saying I'm special because I'm not. However, when I took a couple of spiritual gifts tests, each one of them had me high in discernment. Is it a gift? Or did it have something to do with my upbringing? Or is it both? Either way, it's a tool that I use in my everyday life to protect myself and those I love. After hearing that story, do you think you may have the gift of discernment from the Holy Spirit? By the way, that story I just told you is only one example of how God has used discernment in many situations where I could see the true nature of a person who is about to hurt my friends or family. However, let me warn you, if you have this gift, it won't make you very popular. That's really not the point, is it? One of the most prominent liars in the Bible was Judas Iscariot. We've never been told if the other disciples discerned his plans to plot against Jesus, but of course, Jesus certainly knew. Would it be safe to say that Jesus had discernment in his human personality? I think so. As our example, he had all those gifts, for he was both human and divine on that cross for you and me. Examine some of your past experiences and see if you may have the gift of discernment. You may have had minor experiences, or maybe they were major events. Were you part of the problem or part of the solution? May God grant you always a sunbeam to warn you, a moonbeam to charm you, a sheltering angel so nothing can harm you, laughter to cheer you, faithful friends near you, and whenever you pray, heaven to hear you. May I add that blessing to this reading and to your life.